Now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending time with us here. Greatly appreciate everybody calling the hotline. We've had an uptick in calls lately and a lot of engagement from our audience, and that's why we do the show. We want to be a consumer advocate to help you understand your buying decisions, make you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to cover a lot of topics here. We're going to get a little local as well. There's some interesting story as well. Florida officers sue Ben Affleck and Matt Damon over their film, The Rip. Have you seen that movie yet?
I have not actually seen it yet. I'm interested in checking it out, though.
Yeah, it's going to be good, man. So AJ Hope in studio with us, Mr. Gadget Smart Home Solutions. Give us a little teaser of what we're going to talk about today, my friend.
Yeah, so what I like to discuss actually to new homeowners, especially when you're trying to build your house, is pre-wiring. A lot of GCs forget to actually offer that solution right along with electricians, because a lot of electricians won't run low voltage wires. But there's a lot of other topics that is on our plate, so I'm ready to discuss.
Data centers, another one. We're going to talk about data centers. A lot of stuff happening in the news there as well. DeSantis recently signed a bill regulating cost water use tied to large-scale data centers. So we'll talk about that as well. There's a tweet from Jay Collins, my favorite for governor, running for Florida governor here. Jay Collins with an awesome military background. We also want to get into the story around this teen takeover in Tampa. Pretty crazy how these teens can organize, and there was it was all over the news lately. So we'll talk about that story and more. Don and Kasie Copeland joining us also, the Copeland team powered by Benchmark Mortgage. Hey, look, rates are improving. Things are looking good. There's a lot of positives in the Florida real estate market. Also, I think we're going to have that on the ballot to eliminate property taxes. So I'm hoping that will happen. That could be a huge deal for affordability in Florida. Insurance rates are coming down, improving. So we'll see what happens there as well. All right, a couple of hot listings, then we'll jump right into it. We got a lot of great listings here, about 50 current listings with our awesome real estate team. My wife, Lindsay, and I own a top real estate team here in Tampa Bay, always helping our sellers profit more and sell faster. By the way, we got a new employee benefits program. I want to tell you about our employee benefits program. This is a really awesome opportunity. If you have a medium-sized, large company, we'll come in and we'll educate your team around the benefits of buying real estate. We'll have buyer seminars, first-time buyer support, employee incentives, luxury and upsize expertise as well, new builder and builder support. Investment opportunities. We'll go through, a lot of that with you. Your employees can gain access to the real estate experience, the real estate team that we have developed over the last 25 plus years in real estate, and our radio talk show over 13 years now. So we have a unique strategy where we come in and we help you as an employer educate and guide and give incentives to your team to become homeowners, because we all know that by building that portfolio, you can build wealth, and there's a lot there. And we also have 40, 50 different show partners, ranging from CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, all types of great. AJ is a great example of one of our show partners, Mr. Gadget Smart Home Solutions, all the best. So white collar, blue collar, lots of ways we can help you with the Consumer Quarterback Show. So we'd love to engage with you. And we always feature our listings on air. Here's a couple of hot listings, and we'll jump right into it. We'll give you some of our tips for the day coming up with AJ, Mr. Gadgets here. 10001 Waterworks Lane in Riverview. Now, this is one of my favorite listings because it's got 2 acres of land on a gorgeous, pristine lake in Riverview. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath opportunity. It could be utilized as a residential or commercial property, and you've got 2 acres to grow and possibly, expand on. Great opportunity at 10001 Waterworks Lane in Riverview, Florida. Another great real estate listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals. 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, one of my favorite commercial properties as well. This is perfect for an entrepreneur. You're looking to expand your holdings or maybe diversify a little bit. Go up into that Weeki Wachee area, home of the mermaids. You've got 3/4 of an acre lot. You're right on the waterfront, access to the Gulf, and this has multiple income streams coming in, multiple opportunities for growth as well. You've got a Suzuki Servicer, which is an established motor repair business, multiple income streams from rentals, kayak, paddleboard rentals, dock space, ice machines. You got rental unit there for a live-in manager. 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com, and you can see all of our radio and TV show expert contributors at consumerqb.com.
This is God's country.
All right, AJ Hope back on the show. Man, you did a great job last time, too. A lot of the videos went pretty viral, man, on the social clips.
It was definitely fun. This is awesome.
Yeah, I love it. And you know, it's interesting to see. You never know which is going to hit with the consumer. You know, sometimes you think this one might go pretty big, and then, you know, there's another one that comes out of the left hook, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's great. So, you know, you give a lot of tips out on your TikTok channel as well. I follow you there.
Yeah.
But let's start with just some common tips. You know, what is Mr. Gadget's Smart Home Solutions, and what are some of the common tips that you see, or maybe misnomers as well?
Yeah, so I actually like to help out with internet service providers too, whether it's going to be Spectrum inside our Tampa Bay market, or we have Frontier, or, as you know, Starlink.
Yeah.
Starlink's a great substitute for any of those if you actually really want to cut the cable and just go to the sky, because that's where everything's all at now. Everything's up in the cloud, right?
Yeah.
But after you get your internet service provider, it's all about the foundation of your Wi-Fi network structure. You know, whether you have a wired system, you can actually use access points, or you have to utilize a mesh network to really communicate to all of your smart home products. You know, our goals are actually 50 megabits per second on any room inside of the house. That's on the low margin because everyone pays for gigabit service. But your Wi-Fi won't stretch that far always. So that's what we do to help on out, utilize mesh networks.
And a lot of people don't realize what a gigabyte is, do you have an acronym or a metaphor for that? How do we know what a gigabyte is and all that?
Yeah, so a gigabyte for most residential properties, actually, and commercial, to be honest, if you get that, and that's your primary speed that you're paying for, it's like driving a Ferrari to Publix to go get a pub sub, and then you get back home, you're like, all right, cool. It was great that you have it, but it's not always a necessity.
Got it.
So I try to educate people about the speeds and what it performs for their situation.
Yeah.
But it's not always the best. It doesn't always financially make sense to have the gigabit unless the means is necessary.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. And then also when you think about new construction, there's a lot of missteps that homeowners take, and you know, the contractors should be a little bit more forthright. Probably, maybe they are. Maybe they're giving the options. But if you're building a new construction home and you're not taking advantage of adding that pre-construction, some of the low voltage wiring throughout the home, you're really setting yourself up for problems later, right?
That's correct. I mean, missed opportunity all the time happens with low voltage. You know, you'll have a GC and they just want to build you a beautiful house to the spec that they sort of want to guide you in, which is great because they know what they do and they do what they do well. However, if they don't follow the technology, they don't understand that you actually have to have low voltage in certain areas. Maybe you want to have stronger Wi-Fi in your backyard. Well, a mesh network won't be able to go through those hurricane impact sliders or your windows.
Right.
So you want to sort of plan for these things ahead of time. Plus, your audio system. If you can actually have landscape audio, that's great. But if you can just attach some speakers to the house for your back patio, that might be an easier and better solution for your patio area.
Yeah, that's what we did in ours. I love it too, man. You'll be able to crank those speakers up, enjoy the pool party in the backyard. Kids are splashing, the hot tub's bubbling, and you can't really hear those speakers, some of those speakers, you know, so that's why I like the ones we've got. I want to switch gears. I want to go to Hollywood for a minute. This is a great story. Florida officers sue Ben Affleck and Matt Damon over the film The Rip. I've seen the movie. It's a really entertaining movie, interesting story, and you know, so you've got these two officers now that are claiming that essentially they're saying, hey, look, this was not fictional. You kind of did the story of what we actually did or went through. So it's two Miami-Dade sergeants are suing Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's production company, Artist Equity, over the Netflix thriller The Rip. The lawsuit claims the movie uses specific details from a real 2016 drug money seizure in Miami Lakes to falsely portray the officers as criminals. So they're suing the artists. They end up saying that they're filing for defamation. Compensatory and punitive damages, along with public retraction. The officers allege the film The Rip portrays characters based on them committing crimes like stealing drug money and murdering a federal agent. So kind of crazy. You know, where will this fall? But you know one thing, the attorney's licking his chops. He's like, yeah, let's take this thing to court. I can get you some money.
Absolutely.
Right.
This would be entertaining to watch throughout the whole process for sure.
Yeah. This is really cool, you know, to see these different stories come out. And I think they were just filming down here in St. Petersburg too. So there's that movie that was being filmed here recently. That was pretty cool. All right, another topic I wanted to get to here. If you just joined us, by the way, we're talking with AJ Hope, Mr. Gadget Smart Home Solutions, and I can tell you a firsthand experience. He runs a first-class operation. He did a great job at our home, setting us up with Starlink and some other functions there with the Wi-Fi, et cetera. So real excited about that, letting you know what he does and what he offers. But, data centers, AJ, it's kind of in your realm. I mean, there's a lot going on there. So DeSantis signs a bill regulating costs of water and electrical uses tied to large-scale data centers in Florida. This is the story. And in some Pinellas County commissioners are pushing to block or limit data center development locally, citing water usage and limited long-term economic benefits. So the long-term benefits, how many jobs will it create? Will it create American jobs, or will they try to import some of these foreigners to, under the HB programs? But DeSantis, signed this bill, and I've seen a couple different videos on it, and it's interesting to see. So my take on it is that, hey, look, as long as we're not forcing taxpayers to pay for the increases, which I think it's hard to avoid. I don't think they can come in and build this. So they have this movement called behind the meter, where it essentially has to be these big, large data centers. By the way, a large data center is about a equivalent of a 500,000, 500,000 person community or city. So these data centers, they're going to drain the electrical supply. It's also going to cost money to upgrade the transformers and the lines that roll there. And then the water is the big thing, because these things get so hot, it's going to evaporate the water. It's not like they talk about a closed loop where the water can be recycled and used again. It's gone. It's up in the atmosphere, and who knows where it's going to land. And we're already in a drought in Florida, so I'm not for it in Florida. I say put it up north, maybe in the Yukon somewhere. Put it up in Alaska or somewhere, right?
I totally agree. I mean, the colder the weather, it sounds like it make more financial sense to actually already use the elements on the exterior of the buildings. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm studying all this up myself to understand a little bit better.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want it in Florida near my home.
They're loud too. That's another point.
Exactly.
They're super loud. I saw a video, ladies like, can you imagine hearing this every day? And it was like just a constant, almost like a generator running right outside your home or your window. So those are the reasons why we don't want them. Let's see which politicians support them. I believe Jay Collins, Dave, you were pretty touched with Jay Collins and his team, right? I think he's against them, right? Let's put his. We've got something up here on data centers place an enormous pressure on the power grid, infrastructure, land, and water resources. The question isn't how much they consume. It's what Floridians are giving up in return. Massive land use, growing infrastructure demands, and minimal long-term job creation are serious concerns. So I like Jay Collins for governor. He's my guy. A lot of people are on the bandwagon for Byron, but I don't like a lot of his checkered history. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. And what's your thoughts around that? Because it almost depends. It almost seems like these big companies, these big donors are going to have money. They're going to give it to somebody. Who just depends on who's going to take it.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. I mean, as a politician, they're playing multiple games at the same time, and it's typically a flip of a coin, yes or no. Do they take the money? Do they actually run with this company, or do we upset somebody and let somebody else go in front of you? I don't know. It's going to be a fun, interesting way to watch this process.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be interesting to see what happens. So Mr. Gadget Smart Home Solutions, last time you gave a tip that was about a simple connection to the front doorbell, a way that you can automate that. Do you have another tip like that, or something that we might be able to share with everyone?
Yeah, so we actually do have options with doorbell cameras. Say, for instance, you had a vacation rental, and you wanted to maintain access to every vacation rental offers a smart door lock, because anytime that you're going to get a new tenant to come in, you're going to want to change that code. However, doorbell cameras can communicate with your door locks now, if you have the right fit between the two. So maybe instead of a vacation rental at your personal property, you're getting an Amazon package, or maybe you're on vacation, you get a doorbell press, you're like, oh, can you put this package inside my house? They can unlock either the front door to have a package dropped in, or even your garage. Open access to your garage just by a simple touch of the phone, and then allow the package to go on in, close your garage door on up. So there's nice features that you can do with doorbell cameras.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think, especially with the rise of numbers of short-term rentals, and there's a lot of applications for that, being able to say, hey, just pop that right in the door. Maybe you got a contractor coming over to drop off something or deliver a couch, whatever it might be, right?
Yep. Don't want the porch pirates to see it in the front yard, so you can actually just put it inside.
By the way, those are some of the best videos, aren't they? The people that come up and grab those boxes, and all of a sudden they're all purple or
the
pink.
AI ones too, which is funnier. But
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. I love those. Those are great. Porch Pirates, keep doing it. Keep doing your thing. That's hilarious. Keep the videos coming. All right, quick break. Right back. More with AJ Hope, Mr. Gadget, Smart Home Solutions, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. Quick break.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleaning, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894. consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast.
Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. All right, let me tell you about my friends at Bayview Paints Plus, top-tier window, solar panel, and gutter cleaning, Christian company with godly morals. Find them on Yelp, Facebook, and Instagram at Bayview Paints Plus, or call 813-917-1894. Window cleaning, solar panels, gutter cleaning at Bayview Paints Plus, 813-917-1894.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rimes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show in studio with AJ Hope. He's our special guest. He's our expert contributor for all things smart home related. You can find him online, smartmrgadget.com, smartmrgadget.com. Think home audio, all the different connections, Wi-Fi, all the different applications there. Your doorbells and all that good stuff. Coming up as well, Don and Kasie Copeland joining us. We're going to talk a little real estate here as well. New York lost 892 companies, $47 billion in income. We're going to dive into some of those stories coming up next as well. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team, 5830 Portsmouth Drive in Tampa. We always feature our real estate listings on air. And this is a kind of an entry-level, affordable home. It's a 3-2, just under 1,000 square feet, manufactured home. You got a 49-foot seawall, saltwater canal, access to Rocky Creek, Tampa Bay, and the Gulf of Mexico. There you go, affordable waterfront living there. 5830 Portsmouth Drive, Tampa. Another one of our listings in here in Tampa Bay. 5841 Southeast 164th Avenue in Ocklawaha, Florida. There's your roots to Florida. There's another Indian name, right? 5841 Southeast 164th Avenue. This is a 3-2, 1,300 square feet, half-acre lot, 2 separate parcels, and you have no HOA there. So you got a lot of freedom up there. Further north you go. This one has fruit trees on the property at 5841 Southeast 164th Avenue in Ocklawaha, Florida. About 50 current listings, and we'd love to help you if you're buying, selling, investing, or refinancing. Reach out to the show. You can hit us up on the hotline, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our experts, consumerqb.com. All right, AJ Hope in studio with us, and we're talking about all the different strategies now with your smart homes and ways that you can support that. What else do we need to know? What else is topical right now, do you think? You think home security and some of these things? You see these cameras catching some of these people that are stalking kids coming from the bus stops. I mean, all these cameras are really valuable.
Yeah, well, I mean, imagine back in the 90s when we had to be in by the streetlights, right?
Yep.
A lot of parents, think it's not really a safe world out here. Obviously, we're a whole lot safer because everyone has doorbell cameras. But besides a doorbell camera, that's not always the end game for your surveillance. You should have cameras on your front of your property, maybe looking down your driveway, and that typically catches, if they're 24/7 recording, it'll see anybody coming and going all the time, which could help you on out in the future for other things.
Yeah.
I actually don't use my security cameras always for security. If I'm actually walking out without my briefcase, I will actually look at my phone. I'm like, hey, when did I have this last?
Yeah.
And I actually will watch myself on camera to see when I had what I needed last. And I was like, okay, that's a good way to pull up the past.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. This was an interesting story. Teen takeover in Tampa. Pretty crazy, man.
Tampa police body camera video shows chaos at Curtis Hickson Park in downtown Tampa Friday. Investigators say a teen takeover turned violent. Fights broke out, some spilling into the streets and blocking traffic.
And that's dangerous for the community. It's dangerous for our officers.
It landed 22 people in jail, including a 12-year-old. And although this was dubbed a teen takeover, we're told it involved people as old as 21. Officers
as old as 21, and there were a couple guns found. And what are these kids up to? Are they up to no good? Are they using some kind of app to coordinate this?
I'm assuming they're on some social media platform, and they all plan on gathering up together, and then, other people just bump heads.
Yeah.
I don't know if any alcohol or drugs were involved other than what they confiscated.
Yeah.
But, going out to an event like that and causing fights and then getting a pistol pulled on you, it's not fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the parents, it all comes back to the parents, right? The parents and personal responsibility, getting involved in things that are going to be positive, youth sports, church groups, something to get them involved in something. That way they're not running the streets like this.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it's unfortunate, but that's kind of where we're at. That's where we're at with the society and the power of the internet. I mean, the power of the internet and technology, right? It can be used for good. It can be used for bad.
Yeah, no, that's exactly correct. I mean, the internet is strong, and that's what kids run on now. They thrive on that internet relationship.
Yeah, and we you kind of look at the old Pokemon games and stuff, right there. I mean, that was kind of harmless, but it's interesting to see. So there were 200 youths. Fights broke out during the day in the community field in as well in Orlando on Saturday. There's another one in Orlando, I guess, apparently. So yeah, you look at that and hey, get the kids involved with something positive. That's just the way to go right there as a parent.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Final thought, back to you, AJ Hope, Mr. Gadget, Smart Home Solutions.
Well, either way, Gadget Geeks. I'm AJ Hope, Mr. Gadget, Smart Home Solutions. If you have any questions on technology, feel free to shoot me a text, give me a call any point in time, 727-400-1515. Either way, until next time, keep evolving with technology.
Give that number again.
727-400-1515.
I like that. That's nice and easy. Check him out online, smartmrgadget.com, smartmrgadget.com. Follow him on his socials. Follow us on our socials, at Brandon Rimes, at CQB Show. Subscribe to our channels there. You can find a lot of great information, dropping a lot of tips there as well. And until next time, my friend, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right, coming up, too, we're going to speak with Don and Kasie Copeland, the Copeland team, powered by Benchmark Mortgage. Talk a little real estate. We'll go over some of the latest real estate stats and talk about, we'll beat up on New York a little bit. Let's, they lost 892 companies and $47 billion in income. So the migration trend is real, and we'll see how that's going to affect Tampa real estate, Florida real estate as well. Consumer Quarterback Show, always helping you win as your consumer advocate, always helping you with your real estate, your buying, your selling, investing. We've got our employee benefits program where we can come into your company and help educate your team as well. And they're going to be more productive at work because of that. They're going to build wealth, and they're going to thank you for that as well. Quick break, right back. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We are welcoming back Don and Kasie Copeland, our mortgage expert contributors here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got a recent success story that Casey's going to talk about. Also, Governor DeSantis now announced that Citizens property insurance policyholders across the state are going to see a meaningful premium reduction starting in the spring of 2026. So that's great. Anything to help affordability. And then we'll cover that story, too, about New York losing 892 companies, nearly $47 billion in income. Where did those companies land? And a lot of them are, here's a hint, a lot of them are landing in Florida. So we'll jump into that just a moment. But before we do, a couple of hot listings. 3757 East Side Court, Inverness, Florida. We've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, 1644 square feet, quarter-acre lot. And you have no immediate neighbors in the front, behind, or on either side. So you got a kind of a unique property there. Brand new roof installed in 2026, transferable warranty, no HOA, and you can bring your four-wheelers, your boats, your RVs there. Spacious split floor plan. 3757 East Side Court, Inverness, Florida. Stainless steel appliances. Great opportunity to buy real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay, Central Florida. Great opportunity there. 11101 Sumner Road in Waimama. I love this one. This is pretty cool, man. You got your own vegetable farm there. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1620 square feet, almost 5 acres. And you've got the vegetables are producing between $6,000 and $8,000 a month in revenue. You got an AR zoning there, of course. You got probably lower taxes. And you got a well-maintained 1,620 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath manufactured home with central air, open layout. 11101 Sumner Road in Waimama, Florida, and that's for the farmer in you. Anybody out there want to be a farmer? There you go. Or you want to live off the grid, maybe one day. There you go. There's your opportunity. Sumner Road, Waimama. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. See all of our radio and TV show experts at consumerqb.com.
Yeah, I'm racing my class to those saving our ass overseas.
All right, yep. Shout out to our veterans, our troops out there, and all of our military men and women supporting the country, and that describes Don Copeland right here in our office or studios today as well. You're a military veteran. Thanks for your service, sir.
I am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. And you guys did a lot recently too. I think you told me about a fundraiser you did to help raise some money for veterans. Was it for veterans or?
Yeah, it was for veterans, for Brain Treatment Foundation for veterans, and you raised over $1 million in 48 hours.
Nice. That's super cool, man. I love that. Awesome. And Kasie Copeland as well, your lovely wife in studio with us as well. Kasie, you were telling me you got a recent success story that just happened.
I do, as early as this morning before we came into the studio.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes, it was fantastic. It was I had a borrower go under contract, and we'd been running numbers, but she got an insurance quote, and it was a little higher than what we had anticipated. So I literally spent an hour and 1 minute on the phone with her.
It's funny. You look down on those long calls.
I
You're
do.
Like, that was a long Yeah.
But she not settled. She agreed on an interest rate. We ended up, instead of putting 15% down, we went with the 10% down. We bought the rate down a little bit, and her payment actually came out a little bit better, even though the insurance was a little bit higher. So taking the time, listening to what they want, she knew where she wanted to keep her payment. She knew how much cash she had to bring to closing. So we spent a lot of time with her, but she is extremely happy. We were able to overcome the higher insurance premium, and actually it turned out to be a little bit lower payment. So it was a win-win for everybody.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. Are most people doing 30-year terms now?
They are. And interestingly enough, the 15-year rate typically has been lower than the 30-year, but it is the same or a tad higher.
Oh, wow.
So that just goes back to what we've talked about before. The interest rates, they're just all over the place.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive, too.
It is. Yeah. It is. So
right.
We did look at a 15-year with her as well and ruled that out immediately. That was just not even in the cards. So,
question for you: can't you effectively do the same thing as a 15-year by paying like a biweekly payment, or just calculating, hey, if I add X amount on top of the principal, I could still pay it off in 15 years, right?
Correct. At closing, you get an amortization schedule, so you can look at that schedule and say, okay, if I pay this amount, that's going to drop it 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever. And it makes sure that it goes to principal and interest only, not to your total payment.
Right.
The other thing that we talk to buyers about is if you make one extra principal and interest payment a year, so when you get your tax refund, make that principal and interest payment, it takes off an average of 7 years off the life of the loan.
Yeah.
So instead of a 30-year, you're at a 23-year. So there are tricks that can help them with, pay it off early.
And anything you pay above that payment should go directly to principal, correct?
You have to designate that.
Okay.
Because otherwise they're going to just put it towards the balance, and then
Okay.
you haven't made any headway.
Okay, got it. So you would write that on the check or however you're
Correct.
making that payment.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah, I like that. That's great. And other news too. That's great. We looked at interest rates. We'll get into the rates here, but there was also a note around DeSantis recently announcing that property insurance policyholders across the state are going to see meaningful reductions beginning spring of 2026, aka right now. Policy renewal. So driven by the continued stabilization of Florida's insurance market, comprehensive insurance and tort reforms. At least 17 new insurance companies have entered Florida market over the past 18 months, and Citizens has approved an average rate decrease of roughly 8.7% after years of doom and gloom on insurance. This is great news. And you also think about what about the idea of, hey, if there's no claim this year, let's get a X amount of break the following year, or maybe let's get a rebate back. How cool would that be, right? If you're not, because how many people go years and years and years and decades without a claim, and they're paying the same amount or whatever,
or more.
Yeah, it goes up automatically, right, with appreciation. Sure.
Right. Reward those people that aren't filing claims. I like it. Can we start that?
I love that.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, let's do that. So Don, you focus a lot also. Obviously, you guys work together, but you focus a little bit more on the veteran side because your background as a veteran, and you've seen a lot of veterans doing loans. What are some of the best tips for veterans, or maybe some of the misnomers that people don't realize that veterans have access to?
Yeah, I think I kind of get in arguments on social media with people about this. But a lot of people, they think that maybe the person's not as well qualified because they're not putting money down. That's a benefit they've earned. They have not had to put money down. It does not mean they can't. It doesn't mean that they're not going to. It just means they don't have to put money down. You have that, no monthly mortgage insurance, no VA loan, and people talk about the funding fee. If you get a VA loan, there's a fee you pay to VA. But if you have any disability, any VA disability, you don't pay that. And you would be amazed at how many veterans have at least some form of disability, 10% disability, and you don't pay that fee. Typically lower interest rate. So under those circumstances, it's going to be a better deal. But we do look at it. I mean, there are times maybe the person doesn't have the disability or whatever. There's times we look at it and we'll talk them out of a VA loan. I mean, we'll say, this is not the best deal. It normally is, but this is not the best deal for you right now.
Correct.
But normally it's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, talk to me about that because I think you guys are in a unique position where you have all these different lenders that you can shop, whereas a lot of folks, they don't understand what goes into that, like the underwriting process, the qualifying process, the different decisions, and maybe your thought process of VA versus FHA versus conventional, or maybe some other niche lender that you may have, because you have the ability to broker, if I'm not mistaken, right? You're able to shop these different lenders, find the best deal, whereas a lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to walk into the big bank on the corner, the guys that took all the bailout money, and they'll take care of me. Mm-hmm. But can you discuss that dynamic there, that dichotomy between those two?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, really, everybody Googles, right? And so probably the majority of people walk in our office say, hey, I want this kind of loan. I already did my research.
Yeah, they're an internet expert, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. And, we have to be careful. I'm not going to steer you to any other program, but say, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Because almost always there are other options to look at.
Right.
Like you said, because we can broker, because whatever. I mean, maybe it's a business. A person comes in that's self-employed. Self-employed borrowers. I mean, what you tell Uncle Sam you made on your tax returns, that's how much you made when it comes to us. But, sometimes there's an opportunity for us just to look at your bank statements or your, or whatever, just different options that may work out better for you. Right. So that's what we spend most of our time doing Because
Yes.
we know all these different options. First-time home buyer, all these things. We know all the options. And we usually can present people with 2 or 3 different options to choose from.
Yeah. So that's an interesting program. You mentioned like the bank statement loan, because that's going to show the cash flow. That's going to show the money coming in to the bank account, and it may not take as lenient or as harsh a stance when it comes to your tax returns did, based on what your CPA utilized the tax code for.
Correct.
So that's what Don's talking about there. By the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Don and Kasie Copeland here. The Copeland team, our mortgage expert contributors here, Benchmark Mortgage, CopelandTeam.com, regional branch managers here, regional and a branch manager here on the show. And that leads me to another question, because the down payment seems to be sometimes the mindset, like the misnomer in people's minds.
Correct.
Are there down payment assistance programs? How do you access those? What's involved with that? What's your advice around down payment assistance and those types of things?
I'll take that one.
Okay.
That's your baby.
That's my baby. He's the VA expert. I'm the down payment assistance expert. So each county has the option of offering those programs. Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, Polk, Hernando, you name it. They all have those programs available, and we can do those programs. So we definitely, with first-time home buyers, take a look at those and see if that is a great option for them. And 9 times out of 10, it is. The rate may be slightly higher because the counties set their own rates on those programs, but it's worth it to get $10,000 or $7,500. So they don't have that stress of coming to the table with that money. They may not have it.
Right.
We utilize those programs, get them into their first home. Now, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, they sell that home. That's when they pay back that money, is in the sale of that home. It's 0% interest. It just sits as a silent second on that home. They don't have to worry about paying it back until they sell or refinance.
Yeah, and sometimes that will sunset after 5 years or 7 years,
Correct.
right? Some of them.
Correct. And it's county based, so I wish they would come up with one guideline for all the counties.
Right.
But it is county based. So, and then the state of Florida, when the funds are available, they have the Hometown Heroes program, which right now they're out of funds for that, but we anticipate that refunding hopefully soon.
Those dry up fast, don't they?
They do. Yeah. They do, because it is a great program. It's for our first responders, our teachers, our military. They've, again, like Don said earlier, they've earned it.
Yeah.
So great programs out there. And all they have to do is contact us. We'll put them in the program that best fits them.
Yeah, I wanted to get this story, too, because the New York lost 892 companies, $47 billion in income. Ooh. So the migration trend is real. 892 companies, almost 900 companies, $47 billion in income. And that's just from 2020 to 2024. That's the data there. So that can't be blamed on Mondani yet, but he's got his own record coming out. I'm sure. Yeah.
That's coming.
Florida gained 341 of those companies. Texas picked up 187. North Carolina added 129. So it's not about the wealthy, just the wealthy relocating. It's talking about the jobs, the tax basis that they bring. The economic advantages. They're flooding Miami right now. We did a story too, where Miami has a new record now. I think it's 50 billionaires. And I say Miami, I talk about Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, that whole area.
Sure.
There's 50 billionaires, 50, not 15, 50 billionaires that live in Miami area right now, South Florida. And they're just relocating their companies. They're saying, hey, look, I'm going to stop my projects up here. If you're going to literally penalize me for being a successful entrepreneur, I'm out. Right. I'm not going to do it anymore. Yeah. So it just makes sense. People, especially, because they look at it from dollars and cents standpoint. They look at it at a crime standpoint too. I mean, you look at New York and these people. Did you see the story last week? It was a veteran, I believe, 76-year-old veteran. This repeat offender thug. It's on camera and it's disgusting. He just pushes the guy as hard as he can. An old man from the back, and he pushed him right down the subway. And the guy lands. I can imagine where he lands, on the side of his head or something. Mm-hmm. And he's dead. He's probably dead instantly. Or no, they took him to the hospital. Of course, he didn't make it. He's 76 years old. You're walking in a city in America, and they just continue to let these types of things happen. And they have this, just unbelievable compassion for the criminals. And not the folks, not the victims.
Citizens that are doing nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's terrible. All right, I want to talk about the credit scoring when we come back. There were some changes recently in credit scoring, but we're going to talk more with Don and Kasie Copeland on the flip side of this break. Don't touch the dial. We'll be right back. Credit scoring rules change that could get you into a home. Quick break, right back. Consumer Quarterbacks Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Tired of long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation. Aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online. WillSmithAviation.com. That's WillSmithAviation.com. Or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke, American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at DavidReynoldsJewelryandCoin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net for all of your surveying needs. Land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show. Don and Kasie Copeland in studio with us, our mortgage expert contributors. The Copeland team support the local economy by supporting a local lender, Benchmark Mortgage, right here in Tampa Bay, CopelandTeam.com. And, of course, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Credit scoring rule change that could get you into a home. So we've had a credit scoring rule change. I'm going to have Don and Kasie talk about that here in just a moment. Before we do, a couple of listings here. We like to feature our real estate properties, kind of give you a little sample of what we have listed here in Tampa Bay and throughout the state of Florida. 1130 Sweeney Drive, Ruskin. Another beautiful real estate property listing here. This one's over in Ruskin, Florida. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1471 square feet, quarter-acre lot. This is a waterfront gym with canal access to Little Manatee River and Tampa Bay. So we're out into the Gulf of Mexico there, Gulf of America. Whoops, I slipped again. The private dock and seawall. Perfect for boating, fishing, sunset views. Thoughtfully updated with newer roof, HVAC, siding, gutters, flooring. So 1130 Sweeney Drive, Ruskin, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 13451 Hampton Park Court. This one's in Southwest Florida. You're close to the beaches, close to Fort Myers Beach. And this home offers it all. You've got 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 1883 square feet, quarter-acre lot, open, bright floor plan, and split floor plan there. You're on a lake as well. You got a water feature on that lake. It's got a nice fountain. Newer upgrades as well, roof, HVAC, recently updated. You also have a Tesla EV charger plug-in Great opportunity to buy real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay and Southwest Florida. You can see all of our listings online and search the MLS at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And you can see all of our radio and TV show expert contributors at consumerqb.com.
Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue.
All right, so kind of a sleeper topic here, the credit scoring rule changes. So it's interesting to see you've got, as of November 25, Fannie Mae removed some of the 620 score minimum credit score requirement for their automated underwriting system for conventional loans. So tell us how maybe that might impact some people. You maybe have some declines or folks that you kind of go through your database. You're like, oh, we almost were able to get Mr. and Mrs. Smith in, and maybe we should call them back up and let them know about this credit scoring change.
Well, when you apply for a conventional loan, the automated underwriting system, we always say it looks at big picture. It doesn't just look at credit score. It looks at everything. But there are a few hard stops, and that 620 has been a hard stop.
Okay.
People, for a while.
You'd be amazed how many people have that 615 or the 610 or whatever, so close. But it's a hard stop, or it was. So they've done away with that.
They have.
So, not going to plug a 450 in there and get it approved. But,
yeah.
But the 620 is not that hard stop anymore. We can go a little below that sometimes, especially looking at big picture.
Correct.
If everything else.
We've seen some 600s fly through, and they may have the assets, or
time on the job.
I mean, so there's
compensating factors.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Time on the job. Hey, look, credit score is a little low, but they've been on their job for 32 years, 22 years.
Exactly.
Or things like that. Or they've got over $100,000 in reserves over here, and they got another account with over $50,000 in reserves. So the bank says, hey, they probably won't let their primary residents go without tapping into that money or that money.
Correct.
So that would be considered a compensating factor. What about a tip in terms of, if they are sitting at a 599 credit score and they've got to get it to 615 or 620? I know sometimes you're able to do what do they call it, a rapid rescore, or help people with their credit, or maybe say, hey, pay this one down. What about credit improvement?
We do a lot of that, especially me with the first time home buyers. So a general rule of thumb that is kind of a blanket tip is if you've got a credit card that's maxed out, your score is going to be lower.
Okay.
The threshold seems to be if you can keep your balance below 30% of the limit.
That's what I've always heard. Yep.
Yes. And recently we've seen a lot of, if you keep the balance at $10.
Okay.
Why $10?
Yeah, don't pay it off.
Don't pay it off.
Yeah, because that's extreme.
Right. But keep it at 10.
Yeah.
So why 10 is the magic number now? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a blanket tip that we give a lot of people is just get that balance below 30%.
Yep.
And you should see a little bit of I don't want to say spike, but you should see an increase in your credit score.
Well, we spend a lot of our time looking at credit reports and just giving advice.
You're able to optimize it by having it, somewhere. If it's $1,000 card, keep it at $250 or $300.
Right.
And then another tip would be, is it don't pay off an old collection because that brings it current?
Don't touch
Is that right?
it.
Yeah.
Don't touch it. And
most people, that's what, before they even come to see us. Hey, I did really good. I went and paid off all my collections. Why didn't you call me first?
And it brings it current, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
So the credit scoring bureaus say, oh, well, there's a recent hit on this.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's a negative to do. Don't open a new credit card before closing. Buying based only on rate, ignoring insurance costs, draining savings for down payment, trusting TikTok mortgage advice. There's one. Yeah.
Goes back to what Don said earlier, Google.
A guy standing in front of a rented Lamborghini. That's a good tip.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Don't take tips from the guy in front of the Lamborghini. All right, how do folks connect with you, Don and Kasie Copeland?
We got several ways you can find us. 813-807-7603 is our number. CopelandTeam.com. Let's chat at CopelandTeam.com is our email. So find us.
Let's do that number one more time.
813-807-7603.
All right. Awesome. CopelandTeam.com. Check them out online. Thanks for coming in. Great tips
Thanks
today.
for having us.
Those are awesome tips. I love that. Hey, another great show. We had AJ Hope on the front end as well, Mr. Gadget Smart Home. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-912 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.